welcome back. We're here again. Mm-hmm. What do you think we're talking about this time? Same outfits. Okay, I will preface. Sorry if you're sick of seeing these outfits on us, but like, aside from like the Medalist episode, we're trying to make sure that's the same for the One Piece ones, just to make it obvious. Mm-hmm. As if it couldn't be more obvious with how much One Piece merch I have. Anyway, I'm Quincy Lell.
I'm Audrey Williams.
And today we're going to continue our One Piece little parts. So, obviously, we talked about, why you should read it or watch it, but, read it is a little better paced. Why we love it, which is really hard to encapsulate, as you might have guessed from just us gushing for, 19 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about, honestly, I feel like one of the biggest draws, aside from what we already mentioned, is just the infinite, lore and mysteries that One Piece has.
Yeah, there's so much.
There's so much.
I mean, similar thing with, trying to describe how you love it, or why you love it. There's, so much to get into lore-wise, because...
So much.
It's product so of it good. Being so long, mainly, but,
Yeah, and obviously, this is going to range up the spoilers up to chapter...
952.
There we go.
The Udon arc.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Probably won't talk too much. I will admit, as someone fully caught up, there's some good stuff in Wano and Egghead. Not to mention Elbaf is cooking in the manga right now. But I digress.
I don't know.
It's fine. I'm probably not even gonna mention too much of Wano, even if we get there. Maybe the Kozuki clan. Mm-hmm. But that's not much happening up through Udon. So obviously spoilers up through there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's get into it.
Right.
I feel like the biggest, most obvious, best thing about One Piece is literally the title. It's literally the biggest mystery of the show.
Yeah.
You're reminded every time you say that name. Mm-hmm. Every time you see the logo.
It's very, I was gonna say it's cliche. It sort of is. But I think, the confirmation from Oda that it's not gonna be something oh, the One Piece was the friends we made along the way. I think that helps add to the mystery of, what the One Piece will be. And I'm really, the entire show leading up to... I mean, there's, this is not what the entirety of One Piece is about. It's, it's what the journey of One Piece is about, but it's not, the whole story, if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
It.
Obviously...
that's still one of the things that I'm I want to...
Oh, for sure.
Stick around to see what it is.
I think that's why we're all reading it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we love the Straw Hats and everyone,
right.
But, let's be real. As much as we don't want it to end, we want to know what the frick the One Piece is. We've been here for the ride, too. Mm-hmm. Some longer than others.
Exactly.
That wasn't pointing to you. I was just thinking that this show is longer. It's older than us.
Yeah,
literally older. Crazy to think about. Mm-hmm. Kind of awkward. But anyway, but aside from the One Piece itself being so intriguing, which I feel is just unique. I don't think any other show that comes to mind. I don't think the name of the show was the biggest mystery of it. I feel you always knew something about the title. Okay, except for Bleach. Bleach is weird. Bleach has nothing to do with what Bleach is about, which is weird. But Naruto, literally,
that's just the
name. Just the name. But obviously that's probably a lot lower. But anyway, I guess I'm just talking about the big three at this point. But anyway, yeah, you know what? You talk about something else. I'm just getting lost.
One of the things that when I started Water 7 and Ennie's Lobby, I think one of the things that or the poneglyphs popping up.
The poneglyphs
for the first time is I want those to be put together. Or what are the names of the are they the red ones?
Red poneglyphs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which this is just so intriguing that there's 4 of them. Because you would think you could put 3 on a map and get to a single point. Mm-hmm. But if there's 4, people think it's the Z axis to figure out the height of it, which I totally agree with. Yeah. But it also could just be the classic 4 to make an X.
True.
But that's also kind of weird.
Yeah.
In its own way. I digress.
That mystery, and then I believe it's also Water 7 Ennie's Lobby where you learn about the Void Sentry being a thing.
The Void Sentry is in that arc because of Robin.
Yeah.
Because of just her flashback with O'Hara. That's when it's first dropped. But I think the poneglyphs are introduced with Robin too in Alabasta.
Right.
Which is just so crazy to think about that even now, the most we know... Actually, I don't even know if you know this, actually.
I mean, you can say it, we can find out.
I know, but I feel bad if I spoil you. Okay. Do you know who made the poneglyphs? I feel like this was said before Wano, but maybe I'm just gaslighting myself.
Maybe, but I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can say it, I don't know.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the Kozuki clan who made, that's why Odin knew the language.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, okay. So,
I feel I've been told that, yeah.
Yeah. It's just amazing that these giant blocks have been here for, practically a millennia. Mm-hmm. Just here, holding the truth of the world. Just, in a language no one knows. It's like Latin. It's like it's dead except only one person can read it, and that's Robin.
Yeah. I think, especially, like, learning that Robin can read it was really interesting to me.
Yes.
Like, on its own, I'm like, okay, I like this. I want to learn more about this character.
And then right after that, you get that message from Roger on the Skypea Gold Bell. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what? He knew it too? And then later on, Ridley's like, oh no, he just heard the voice of all things. And you're like, he had the voice. You're like, this thing that Luffy has is a thing. Yeah. Like, it blows you out so much how, like, it's weaved together, yet it's still one big mystery.
Right.
But yeah. I feel like the Void Sentry, I'm so intrigued. Like, okay, I'll just mention this. Egghead drops a little bit more about the Void Sentry and stuff, obviously, but it's just a big freaking tease. It just, like, nothing really more has actually been told, except that, like, obviously we can speculate that, you know, someone in the world government, someone on a throne in the world government might be immortal because of, you know, the whole, with Law's devil fruit, someone, if you know that power can be used of giving immortality, it's been used. Right? Can be...
Yeah, if you know that it can... Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, how else do you know this? How else do world nobles...
Right.
Celestial dragons know this? You know? Because we're told about it from Doflamingo, an ex-world noble. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Just throwing that out there.
But yeah. There's so much. Like, oh...
I was gonna say, while I'm thinking about Robin, like, the history of... this isn't really a mystery, necessarily, but I think, like, learning... Like, watching the history of O'Hara before it got destroyed was, like, very... I mean, even, like, the fact that they were an island, and again, it's been a minute since I've, seen this, so I might be, like, not saying exactly what it was, but, like, could everybody on that island read poneglyphs, or was it just Robin?
It's just the archaeologists.
Oh,
so, like, probably a few dozen.
Yeah.
Like, a good number. Like, let's remember, this was a genocide.
Yeah.
So, like basically, like, half of the island, I would approximate this, obviously, numerically, but let's say there was 100, I would say half were archaeologists, the other half were innocents who still got killed anyway by Sakazuki, because we all know genocide's on his mind all the freaking time. This man sucks. Anyway.
Yeah.
Just
blanket statement. He's not great.
No, like, even though people, like, now and, like, are like, oh, well, he's just sitting about it behind a desk doing nothing. It's like, but can we not forget he literally just massacred an entire boat of people when he was, like, late 20s?
Oh.
And it's only gotten worse.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Not that his age would have made it any better, but still, that's crazy.
Yeah, if it was 20 years ago and he's, like, in his 50s, I'm approximating. I don't know how old he is. I'm just approximating. Yeah. He looks like he's 50s, let's be real. But I digress. But, like, okay, so that's, like, mysteries, right? Oh, I guess the Wheel of D. That's a big one, too. And literally everyone's... Well, not everyone's, but, like, everyone important, their name. I think the wildest thing was the gold Roger becoming Goldie Roger. Like, that's so clever. That's
really
just so clever.
I was not, like... I forget. Is that also Water 7 and he's
No, it's... I only know this because I've been watching a reaction channel of people watching One Piece. It's actually Dr. Kuroha who says that. They're like, oh, that's what you call these... that's what they call you these days, as the Straw Hats are sailing off with Chopper. Oh, and I'm like, it was dropped this early. So...
I knew that, like, I found that out at some point. I just could not remember.
No, for sure.
That is a really clever, like... Not play on words, I guess, but, like... clever way of making his name fit into that. Yeah,
because it's like if everyone important has the middle initial D, which means who knows what. Obviously, there's plenty of videos out there to speculate. That's not what we're doing. But like, that's just so cool because it's just, you know, if they're the antagonist of the gods. Oh, man, I love Law. The fact that he just like name dropped that out of nowhere. Yeah, actually, it's not my full name. I have a D too. Get used to it. It's like, dude, you can't just drop this.
You can't just say that.
And just say that Sengoku of all people. Really? Like, I don't care if the man's retired. Does he deserve this privileged knowledge?
Yeah, true.
Tell Luffy, man. Tell someone else who might be able to use this knowledge. But anyway. Okay. Enough of the mysteries. Lore. There's so much, like, breath in this world.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to say something, but then I realized I can't.
Oh, no.
You go. I need to think of something else now that I can't say what I was going to say.
I think that, like... the world government being expanded on as the show goes on is really...
Yes.
Or the world government's, like, inherent corruptness, if that's a word. Like, the world government inherently being, like, a corrupt organization, and that being expanded on in the way that you see their impact on, like, different islands across the series is really interesting. And, like, it all kind of... Like, you get a taste of it in Enies Lobby, obviously, but I think, like, they're eventually... most likely being a like confrontation
there's gotta
against
be
the world government again, Or, like, a sort of, like, final confrontation, yeah.
For sure. And I honestly would bet my money on the Revolutionaries. Love the Straw Hats. But are they really going to be fighting the world? Like, that's so much Dragon's role and what they've been building up, like, with the Reverie. Mm-hmm. Like, I know at your point, all you know is they just attack them.
Yeah.
And that's it. It does get expanded upon more during Egghead. Mm-hmm. But I digress. But, like, I love the slow build-up of the world government because it really just starts with the Marines. And I love how, yes, the Marines are part of the world government, but they're, like, a subsidiary organization with their own... Obviously, like, the head reports to the freaking celestial dragons. Yeah. But, like, aside from that, they have, like, their own structure and own directors that they really adhere to. Obviously, catching pirates, but at the same time, like, you know, Snoker, Kobe, like, even Fujitora, good people who just don't want to see corruption take place because the world... Man, when Fujitori's like, it was my fault that I let the warlord do this to you, totally just placing the blame right where it belongs, not, like, doing the under the rug like freaking world government did with Crocodile. I love that. Love that. And then it gets abolished in the Reverie. Totally deserved. Anyway, there's so much. I feel like we could go on for hours about just the lore of World Piece.
I think, like, I don't know if this is necessarily a lore thing, but I was thinking about it because of, like, the Revolutionaries being brought up, like, the backstory of, Ace, Luffy, and Sabo.
Yes.
Is, like, one of my favorite things about One Piece, if I'm being completely real.
And it's so good. Like, I know people don't like the amnesia thing with Sabo, and I kind of get it, but I also, like, it was played up beforehand, like, with Ace, his tattoo. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You knew it was there, and, like, I will at least say this, it was at least handled better than the freaking Big Mom anime.
I was gonna mention that, yeah.
God, that sucked. I'm like, really? Anything but this. Like, I tolerated it with Sabo. That's it. Can't do it again.
Yeah.
And the only reason I tolerate it with Sabo is because in the article of the newspaper that he's reading aloud, he says Fleet Admiral Sakazuki. Ace, Luffy, Sakazuki, all in the same little paragraph.
Yeah.
Sakazuki cups.
Oh, yep. That makes sense.
So I buy it a little bit there. It's still really weird. It's still kind of like, but One Piece is weird, so I kind of passed it off because I was just like, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I was gonna say, like, it's a result of, like, him getting, like, was he shot in the head?
Yes, he was, like, a shot.
Right.
His boat exploded. But the reason I don't, like, buy it is because, like, Ace's comic poster has been out for a while.
That's true.
Have you not heard, like, you're the number 2. I'm sure you get around. Do you not know who the second commander of the Whitebeard pirates are at this point?
That's fair.
So it's a little weird, like, seeing his face, seeing the tattoo in the Wano poster. I'm like, you sure you don't know who this man is?
Right.
But I digress.
Maybe
anyway.
he needed Luffy also.
I guess, but it's like, he spent more time with Ace. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, we're not gonna touch it. Anyway.
Right.
Going back, though, to, like, Final War expectation, obviously, Luffy's gotta be Pirate King.
Yeah.
However, I won't be mad if Buggy gets it first. Buggy D. Clown. Okay.
Buggy D. Clown.
Honestly, Buggy's so hilarious. Failing upwards, going from nobody to warlord to emperor.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's not a spoiler. I know that's out there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if he's catching up this quick... Compared to Luffy, should he not overtake him for just a second and then Luffy yoinks it away from him? That would be fun. Like, that would be fun, right? Come on. You can't tell me that wouldn't be amazing.
I do want to see that, too, now that you mention it.
It would just be so funny. Buggy'd be like, oh, I am the Pirate King. Yoink.
And then it gets stolen away from him. Yes. But he did have it.
He had it. For, like, 1 second. He achieved his dream. And I want to talk more about Buggy, but that actually gets into Wano Egghead spoilers, actually, unfortunately. Some manga stuff that was really fire. That's in the anime. I think, maybe not sure about that. But I won't talk because I don't want to spoil it. But anyway, I will say, as much, like, and again, I'm not going to spoil you because, okay, well, what do you know about Egghead? Do you know that they meet a certain somebody?
Yeah, it's like the scientist guy with the weird face.
Yes, okay. So it's obviously the Vegapunk. It's the
Vegapunk
arc, the one of the freaking most mysterious characters. And of course, what does Oda do? He just drops another batch of mysterious characters in the same freaking arc. So now I'm even more curious about these other characters. Like, you built up Vegapunk and Kuma, and when you give me a litI taste of them, you also just introduced a whole freaking, legion of new characters that I'm supposed to, like, also... I guess I can't get into them too much, but I love how built up things are. Like, oh my gosh. I need to know, like, I really do. I need to know what Blackbeard's doing. Like,
yeah.
just
that is a big, like, what is he... Well, I think, like, also... And I don't know if this has been explained currently, or even, like, where I'm at now, I'm not sure that it's been explained yet, but the fact that he's able to have two devil fruits at once is really, like, a big thing.
There is a theory that the reason is because he, you know, the whole, like, he can't sleep at night kind of thing, from the Odin well, I don't actually... Have you gotten to the Odin flashback yet?
Oh, have I?
Anyway, Buggy says
so.
Buggy says in the Odin flashback. But anyway, because of that and some other things, and because of like how Blackbeard acts differently, so vastly differently sometimes, there's a theory that there's 3 of him in one body, and they each like hold a devil fruit. I don't know about that because it's like it's weird. It would fit. It's One Piece, but I'm also like, yeah, but how? I would rather just believe that he like his original Logia of the Yami Yami Nomi would just be able to let him have more devil fruits, but it is interesting that it'd be 3. Like, his moniker is 3, his flag has 3 skulls, he has 3 guns, he has 3 little things in his beard. I don't know what to call that, little ponytail beard things. I don't know. He's very much a, like, trifecta in his, like, design and everything, but, so, like, I like the idea, but it also feels just as ludicrous as, like, the Crocomom theory. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, it's out there.
That one's fun enough for...
That one's funny. That one's funny. Do I, like, believe it's true? No, but it's funny.
I think it's... I don't for real believe it, but I think it's fun to, like...
Think about.
To like, pretend... To, like, gaslight myself and believe it. Because I'm like, hey, this is funny.
Honestly, it's so funny. I'm like, fair enough, but, like, that kind of theory just, it's so funny. Anyway, not the point.
I doubt it's the intention, but it's funny to think that it is.
But I will say, like, man, what a way to, like, introduce cannibalism in One Piece. Yeah. Into the power system.
Right.
That's just, and, like, I get it, like, people were confused for a while until they got the Big Mom's flashback.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then it was so freaking blatant. It's like, Oda, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's like, ooh. Because I don't even know... I don't think I picked up on it the first time around,
really?
Actually. Yeah. I think it was, like...
I knew, as soon as, like, you see Streusen sitting there and be like, she didn't just do that, I was like, no way, she just ate them.
Because I knew that she got, I forget her name, but the, like...
Mother Caramel?
Yeah, I knew that she got her devil fruit somehow, but, like, the flashback, I think, like... Did I watch it first, or... I don't remember if I watched it first or read it first.
I watched it first.
I think I read it first.
Maybe that might be a difference.
And that was, like... I don't know if it's too different from the anime, but, like, for some reason, I just wasn't putting the pieces together, and then I think, like, I talked to you about it. It is pretty
morbid.
Like, yeah.
It is, for, like, even for One Piece, like, as many dark themes as, like, genocide and racism and a lot of other worse things, that cannibalism is also, not something I would have picked.
Yeah.
800 chapters into the game. But it was the way I watched the scene in the anime, it's because she's, like, just in this eating frenzy, but happy because it's her birthday, and all the kids are there, but then, like, all you really hear is her. And then she opens her eyes, and they're gone, and she has the devil fruit. But, like, because Zeus and Prometheus are still there, I was like, wait a second. And then Streusen's there hiding in the bushes thinking, oh my god, I need to befriend this monster. Yeah. And use her because she's just a kid at the end of the day when she does this, which is even more depressing. Yeah. Scary and depressing, I guess.
I think I misinterpreted it as a flashback, and that's what it was. Because I was like, it went
because it's happening in the flashback.
Right.
And she does, and I think the reason is because she's remembering this awesome scene, but she doesn't know she ate them. Yeah. Which is the point. Because it's not supposed to be so blatant you're seeing her shove people in her mouth or anything, because that'd be disgusting. Yeah. But it's actually what's happening. And I think the reason I picked it up is because of how quickly I was able to think about how did Blackbeard get his? Why did he cover Whitebeard's corpse?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about... I knew he, like, ate him essentially to get it, but yeah.
Because it was like, what did he do? Why did he cover it? And then, and you can't tell what happened because he probably... Honestly disturbing to think about. He probably ate from a wound, so no one could tell when they took the tarp back down. But anyway, getting a little too morbid here. Probably definitely not getting money out of this video. That's all we have. What a dark note to end on.
Yeah, but I mean...
But all this to say, there's breadth in One Piece.
There's a lot going on. I mean, and again, like you said, there's more we could talk about. But
for sure. As you can tell, we get like so caught up in what we're talking about. We ramble. We like to spiel.
Exactly.
But anyway, stay tuned for what we talk about next. It'll probably be after spring break, so might wait a week or two. But we're going to try and talk about Sakamoto Days next. We'll see how it goes, but I already know I'm enjoying the show. We'll see how much we'll have to talk about when our next episode comes out. But thanks again for watching. I'm Quincy.
And I'm Audrey.